So Jess is really excited about going on another retro game hunt, aren't you, Jess?
Yeah, why?
Oh, really?
Well, I will be excited until you spend 2 hours in there, and then I will be bored.
But aren't you going around the charity shops though?
We'll see.
I think you will. I mean, there's even charity shops that I want to go and look in. So we're going down to Rugeley, and it's a retro hub shop.
Why don't you say it in a way people actually know where you're going?
Retro hub shop. Is that better?
Hub. It sounds like you're saying herb. Retro herb
hub,
shop.
Hub shop. Retro hub shop. I'm struggling to articulate my words because of my Invisalign. Nonetheless, I've got a bit of a lisp. Retro hub shop.
There you go.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah. Check it out.
One hour later.
And here we are in Retro Hub, down in Staffordshire, in the delightful town of Rugeley. And we've also got a giveaway. You guys need to share this video using hashtag Team24 as many times as possible over the next week. I will send the person who shares the most these two games, or those two games that you just saw in the last clip. So get sharing. So we're going to be taking a jolly good look around this brand new store. Shout out to Elric. He is the owner of this store, Retro Hub, and he's new here. He had a market stall, I believe, a couple of months back, and then when all this kind of stuff kicked off with the lockdown, he got an opportunity to move to this shop, and I'm delighted to be able to go down and get this shop some kind of, recognition, because I think Retro Hub Shop is definitely an up-and-coming retro game store to kind of hold out for. And they sell loads of stuff. They sell kind of Warhammer. You've got game guides, magazines, Magic the Gathering. I mean, lots of board games. You name it. I think there's a little bit of something in here for everybody. There's Jess just there taking a look at the board games, actually. Now, we're actually cozied up in the back here. This is some of the kind of off-the-grid shots that I like to bring here. Mega Drive, nothing major, the kind of football, FIFAs, the generic stuff here in the back. I thought there might be something really juicy. You've got some Magic the Gathering cards there. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's been ages since I've played Magic the Gathering. But I got some really nice games in this particular retro game hunt. Oh, and can we just take a moment? Boxed PS1 controllers. They're obscure to, seriously, the boxed ones, they're very difficult to find. I didn't need one, so I didn't buy it, but I suggest you guys keep your eyes peeled for boxed PS1 controllers because they're becoming quite valuable. Now we jump out to the front of the shop here. Elric has some beautiful GBA, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, loads of different cartridges and loads of a nice variety of box stuff there. Dropping down to some N64. We'll kind of come back to that. Again, I did pick up one of the Super Nintendo games that he had in from a massive lot from Stafford. And I was just going through some spares, and I love absolutely buzz off boxes like this. And I always ask if I can kind of have a rummage through. I did pick up one out of here. And there was lots of Atari, and everything obviously, as you can see, was kind of unboxed. There was some Japanese Sega Saturn, really nice to see. Rampage, I was debating. There was a copy there, and there was a copy in the cabinet, which you'll probably clock later. But I've never played Rampage. Jess actually said maybe I should get it, and I didn't, so I thought I'd put it to you guys. Is Rampage any good on the Nintendo 64? Now check this little beauty out. He was 11, and I've completely forgotten his name, but he was one of Elric's friend's dogs, and he was just such a delight. I mean, having a dog or bumping into pets on these retro game hunts is just an absolute flipping bonus for me. But timestamp in the comments, guys. Have you seen anything? And in the second half of this episode, because this is a double episode, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I picked up. So we have loads more to come. So we're still having a good old rummage through here, and again, these kinds of raw and pure shots when I'm just on my phone, diving into a box full of games, you know, the smell of the old games, the clanking of the plastic of the cartridges. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. It really doesn't get much better than that. In fact, what I am going to do as well, and it's just a little teaser for what you can kind of expect on retro game hunts, I'm going to be using a lot of mobile audio, and we'll see some of that, well, you'll hear some of that later in this video, but I really want to pad these retro game hunts out rather than it just be voiceover. You know, you guys can get a flavour for what it sounds like in the store. 9 times out of 10 there's a lot of funny conversation going on that I have to bleep out. But we're back in the front again. Jess just filming me here. I've actually taken a look at some of the N64 magazines. I'm having a good old root through, and I'm really loving the N64 at the minute, particularly as Raw Talent Art hooked me up with the RGB N64. I actually kind of got them all, so pretty stoked that, and shout out to Elric behind the till right there.
Never seen disc wipes before.
Oh my god!
They're probably like completely dried up.
Amazing.
Still, that's wicked cool.
Dude, I remember that.
Thanks
Oh,
for the
you're
back of your head,
right.
babes.
I'm not very photogenic. Believe it or not, I'm quite shy actually. So you just heard my excitement at the lovely Elric passing me over some PS1 goodies, and if you can kind of guess what they were, you may have actually clocked what was on top, but you'll see that later in the video. I didn't even know one of them existed, so it was a real nice surprise actually to be able to kind of have a look at those, and we're just kind of discussing it there, and I'm like, where did you get them from? How did you get them? How did you acquire them? I remember these. Me and my brother used to have them, and it's just having that nostalgia and the memories that I really just cannot get enough of. I mean, nostalgia is, for me, one of the most powerful things in the world, and that's why I love little things that crop up on retro game hunts like that. Now, I was just here, and the N64 magazines, you can see that the footage is just flopping all over the place, because the N64 magazines are still there. But no, seriously, joking aside, you got your game guides, and there's a couple of mangas kicking about. So I do actually need to get back into reading Tokyo Ghoul. I've watched 1.5 seasons of Tokyo Ghoul on Netflix, which really engrossed me for the first season, but then I just kind of lost interest a little bit. So what I'm probably going to do with Tokyo Ghoul is maybe just restart season 2 again. You know, but we'll see. We will see. Tokyo Ghoul, if you've read it, let me know. If you've watched it, I want to hear from you. Board games galore, plenty to feast your little eyes on, and you know, loads of magic cards, Pokemon trading cards, lovely display. I was like, you know, I think you just saw me point there, this looks like a really nice piece of kit. Star Wars Destiny board game. I think Elric, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can also play this. Is this the one you can play one player? Because there was one on here and Elric said you can actually play this by yourself, because obviously with a board game you need 2 or more players. So I think developing board games, being able to just play by yourself, is freaking unbelievable. I would love to see more of that, because I have Zelda Monopoly, I have another board game that I'm not going to mention because you'll see it later in the video. I've got the Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness board game, and Jess isn't overly fussed, but I will be kind of taking recommendations, and you know, maybe we should get, I don't know, some kind of little meet up or something and play some board games. I don't know. I know there's lots of like Magic the Gathering nights, so like card games that you tended to take place on Friday, but that's all kind of died down now. But, you know, Elric did say that he is going to be doing that when things start to kind of ease in terms of restrictions. He's going to have Friday night Magic the Gathering. And if you are in this area, Rugeley, Staffordshire, definitely go and check him out. He actually came up with a great idea. If you subscribe to my channel, if you go in and you show him that you're subscribed to me, he will give you 10% off. So I make no money on that. You literally will get 10% off your purchase if you're subscribed to my channel. So, I don't know, subscribe, leave a like, and yeah, let's continue with these awesome retro games.
Get ready.
Now I clocked one of my first gen channel cards. On the flip side of that, there's the banner art as well. So I thought that was like super nice. Thank you for having that there. And yeah, it just made me smile from ear to ear. It was actually one of the first things I noticed when I got towards the back of the shop.
There's sort of random bits and pieces.
That is an Amiga game, isn't it? That is. Yeah, I thought so. Yes, what's that? Oh, that's what they're what I sent. That's wicked. That's right. Past Gemma. That is an Amiga game. I just had to like double check because as I picked that off the shelf, I was like, wait a minute. Does it have tape in or does it have floppy disk? And yeah, it had a floppy disk in. So yeah, I had to kind of double check because I have in the past bought like big box games thinking like, oh yeah, Amiga stuff, and it turns out to be like a Commodore 64 games or whatever else, I don't know. But anyway, we've got some Sega goodness here. Now Jess really liked the box art on Turtles Tournament Fighters. I don't remember if it had a manual. I think it did have a manual. I didn't pick it up. It's one that I've genuinely been deliberating on for all this time, literally all this time, because you've seen my collection now and you'd think that that is a predominantly staple title in the Mega Drive and Super Nintendo kind of genres, but I don't own it. It doesn't enthrall me massively, and I do think that it's quite an expensive game for what it is, but I think a lot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games tend to be pretty expensive and they tend to hold their value, which is awesome, I guess. Let's look at these CDI games.
What's all inside? That's actually got the demo disc with it as well.
So we've got International Tennis, Black Rain, Encyclopedia,
Depends what you're after.
Monogram Machine,
In the back room.
Top Gun, Hunt for Red October. These are the movies. There's not many games. That's cool. That's really cool. You think it's like a big ass Overwatch ninja?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, isn't it? That?
Yeah.
That's really nice. Even that's pretty cool. I'm doing it again, aren't I? I'm doing that thing again where I go back to shelves. I have the most random way of scouring for games. Jess absolutely, she pointed it out actually. She's like, there's no rhyme or reason to how I go into a game hunt. I just go in, I pull games off the shelf, as you saw there. I'll walk away. I'll come back. I'll walk away again. I'll spin around. I mean, fortunately, everything in here was in great order. You see, you've got your Platinums there. Everything's alphabetized. That was Platinum PS2 and PS1. And Jess was just asking me about one of the guides here, which I had. So I didn't actually pick up any guides this time. I did last time I went down, and I absolutely think retro game stores should really make more of a point to put their game guides out. Particularly now they're becoming more of a commodity, because you can't buy them with the new games that are coming out because Prima went under. So I think a lot of tangible game guides, it's almost like tangible instruction manuals. You don't see them a lot anymore, but when you do, you feel like you're getting a little bit more for your money in terms of a game. Like, you'd leave a game store and you'd open your game and you'd have a manual and the game. And it's the same with game guides. I used to leave game stores with the game and a manual and feel that I'd got more for my money. So, you know, put your game guides out, retro game store owners. There's a little one from me. I don't know.
Welcome to the fantasy zone.
I can't believe someone bought a CDI in. So I said we'd come back to have a look at this glass cabinet in more depth, and I found it interesting. I didn't actually think about it until Elric said kids bump into this all the time, and obviously, as you guys can see, everything's stood up, so things fall pretty darn easy, and he's kind of tidying them up quite a lot at the time. So I think, again, you just, you know, kids can get very excited and they go into a store like this and there's lots of like Mario that they recognise and Pokemon and different Pokemon and really cool stuff, and they get excited and they end up banging into things. I'm yet to make that mistake, because believe you me, I am just as clumsy and I am just as excitable, and there's Rampage again, as anyone that is under the age of 10. So yes, I am a little bit clumsy. Fortunately, I didn't have any accidents in here, and there were some beautiful things in, some really, really, really nice stuff. Jess scoping out. She always picks up steel books. Right now, Jess, I know you're not going to watch this because you don't watch my videos, but what is it with you and the steel books? Just out of interest, do they just stand out to you more on the shelf, or do you prefer them from a collector's point of view? But yeah, she kind of clocked that, and I found it interesting as well that she also clocked that there were some sealed PS4 games in here. So awesome sauce, awesome, and yes, let's continue the retro game hunt. So I know that these particular retro game hunts and this entire playlist is really popular with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link it in the cards. And if you want to go and watch another episode, go and choose from over 100, maybe even 150 by now. I don't know. Definitely at least 100 retro game hunt episodes. Go and check that out. I'll also link it on the end slide. Now, I just want to take this opportunity to just say a quick thank you to Elric for giving us coffee, collecting a load of stuff for me as I was messaging him over Facebook, went down, really being really hospitable, and I can't recommend this place enough, guys. Please go and check it out. I'll link everything in the description. Even if you can't get down there, just, you know, message him. Give Elric a follow on Facebook, you know, his Retro Hub Shop. And if there's anything you like, don't forget, guys, message him or get down there. Get 10% off by subscribing to this channel. Woohoo! thing that in that kind of last shot there that was really nice was the amount of original Xbox games, and it wasn't just your generic Xbox games that you tend to see time and time again in CEX, like the Halo and Halo. You know, there was an actual really nice variety. Didn't pick any up because I tend to only collect for OG Xbox what I will play, rather than, I'm not like an Xbox collector. I'm on the console front, but I'm not so much with the games because, well, I don't know, I think like the PS2 for me just has much more of a competitive library, and I would much more rather play the kind of PS2. And besides, I have memory cards full of save games that I can just plug and play into my PS2 with the Xbox. I don't really have as much. Now, as we approach the second half of this episode, we just kind of dive into the back again, and there again, loads more GBA titles boxed up. I was kind of looking through, waiting for that hidden gem to pop out, and there were some beautiful things in here. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Bart Simpson, The Simpsons, anything Simpsons branded, again, game-wise, is definitely worth a look in. Don't overlook it. And then just really cool little Pokemon figures stashed in at the back there. I mean, this place is like an Aladdin's cave for retro gamers. We've got a Tomb Raider PC big box there. I want to pick that up, but I actually own Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider 3 and Tomb Raider Chronicles, I think, on big box PC. So I didn't pick it up, but otherwise I would have snagged it. I would have absolutely snagged, bagged and tagged it. So yes, this is the secret stuff of the store. I don't think Elric would let you back here, but don't forget, there's something you don't see out on the shop floor. Just ask him, because all of this stuff was stashed in the back. So we are approaching the middle of this episode, and I hope you guys are still here. We're going to be doing much longer episodes moving forward. There'll be 2 videos a week rather than 3, but I'm going to combine the videos to make them longer, so essentially you're actually getting more content. So yeah, please hit that subscribe button as we take our little intermission bow and go back to the Lady Lounge, aka the game room. And just like that, we are back home in the Lady Lounge. We have Molly the dog right here chilling out, and you may have seen that I did actually pick up this beautiful mushroom from Smith's Toys, a definite kind of hidden gem for your high street game stuff. But we're here to take a look at the retro games I picked up from Retro Hub Shop. Don't forget, 10% off if you go in and show them that you subscribe to me. I make no money, you save 10%, buzzing. So I have a whole box here. I'm going to get right into it. So I actually have an Amiga 500 Plus with a disk drive. As you guys know, the 600 has the GoTech drive. So check it out. I picked up, and I'll show you additional things of this, Final Fight on the Amiga. I have never played the Amiga version. How insane is that? Like, I love it on the Super Nintendo, and it does a very good job in rivaling the Streets of Rage franchise, in my opinion. So check how cool the box art is. Let's just take a minute just to appreciate how fabulous that box art is. Everything is in here. I don't know if that's actually like a poster in there or something like that. And then we have the 2 discs itself. Whew. So pretty stoked to have a little bit more Amiga love. As we said, there's more Amiga content coming, so I was like really buzzing with that. The box art does look very different as well to what I'm used to, say like on the Super Nintendo. So I'll show you, now this was going cheap in Argos recently, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and it's Harvest Moon, The Lost Valley on the Nintendo 3DS. He actually had a couple of these, and you may have seen on the Retro Game Hunt itself. I'm very much kind of angling myself towards kind of Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley. I've been really contemplating getting Stardew Valley on a mobile. Ooh, mobile gaming, oh God forbid. But yeah, so I wanted to pick it up. A surprise Wii title that I actually don't own, that created a storm at the time, Epic Mickey. Don't own it. Like I actually sorted through my Wii games a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I didn't own it, and it kind of came out just before me and Jess got together, and it was one that I just kind of missed, so I thought I'd give it a blast. I've heard good things about it. You know, I haven't heard like disastrous things by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll see how it comes to fruition when I fire up the Wii. Now, I was asked on stream the other night, do I have any other fighting games? And I remember seeing this particular game down at Eurogamer, would have been 2015? Killer Instinct. Never played the Xbox One version, always been glued to the Super Nintendo version. This is the combo breaker pack with a bonus fighter included. The guy is right there. So again, I think the box art looks really, really nice with that. I don't think it will come anywhere near to rivaling the greatness of Mortal Kombat. And I'm still now kind of like in two minds on whether or not to pick up Mortal Kombat and maybe some Street Fighter games just to stream through the PS4. Squeak's knocking stuff over there. Well in two minds about that. Obviously your girl as well, I'm just going to quickly show you this. I love lounging around in large gaming t-shirts. I just absolutely love it. So I'll just be kind of wearing this at night after like a shower or something. I'm just going to put that down there. So back to the games. Now we have, what do we got here? Let's get this whole entire pile out here. I did ask him to put some stuff away. I'm going to show you guys this one. It is, I'm just kind of looking back at the PlayStation 3. Pretty certain, I'm absolutely 100% I don't own this, but I've heard great things. Box art and spine art is stunning. Folklore. Okay, so let me show you the box art first. Best of E3 2007, you guys can see right there. How lovely is that box art, first of all? Even the spine art is really, really nice. Hello, Molly. And it says here, we'll read it. A series of unsolved murders, a mysterious telephone call, a letter from a dead mother. These peculiar events draw Ellen and Keats to Doolin, a sleepy Irish village that hides a gateway to the netherworld. In search of answers, they must travel to realms beyond their own, seeking the knowledge of the dead by harnessing the power of nightmarish creatures, lost souls known as folk. So this is right down my street, and believe it or not, you don't see it around that often. The manual looks really nice and it's got some lovely box art inside, and it just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. Let me show you the, see? It just looks beautiful, doesn't it? So I'm up for a new challenge on the PS3 and I thought Folklore would be a fantastic start. Now, what else we got here? I'm just going to quickly show you this. Now, this is not something I would typically even show, but this is actually a kind of action and horror pack of UMD videos, sort of movies, Silent Hill, Resident Evil and Hitman. You don't see them around that often. It was actually Jess that drew my attention to it, so shout out to Jess. And obviously Elric said that you don't see the kind of triple packs around, and this is sealed, so I'll probably just kind of keep this as a shelf piece if I'm honest, because I haven't seen Hitman, but I love the other two films. I'm not sure if I'd be so keen on the Hitman movie, but yeah, if you've seen it and you can sell me on it, then please sell me on it. Right, continuing then, we got Super Nintendo, we got Wii, we got NES. Oh my god, it's all going on. Next up then, Star Wars, Bounty Hunter, LucasArts Entertainment. Now, this stood out to me because I've just watched The Mandalorian, okay? I just watched The Mandalorian and I enjoyed it. It was, I wanted it to, I think I expected a bit too much from it because everybody I know has seen it. Everybody online has seen it and is raving about it. So I went in with this like, yeah, and I did enjoy it, but there was this one episode it really, really lacked for me. It was the one where they're in that prison ship and you have to go and rescue one of the prisoners. I'm not going to spoil it, but I just found the acting to be a little bit shady on that episode, but it is what it is. It's missing manual, but that's absolutely not a problem for me. Next up then, we got Zero Tolerance on the Sega Mega Drive. This looks good. I've not played it ever, and it actually says here free exclusive link-up cable. Let's see if it has the link-up cable in it. Let's see. Okay, feels pretty heavy. No, it would have been one of them things you have to send off. See inside for details. There we go, small print. So there we go. I don't know why you would need the link-up cable for that. Enlighten me. We'll get rid of the list, so we'll chuck it over there. Now I'm going to show you two Wii games. We have Super Paper Mario and the Ferrari Race Experience. Both, again, I don't own, and both I will play. I'm kind of becoming increasingly attached to racing games on consoles of past. So this was, I don't know how much this was. It was a couple of quid, so pretty sick, pretty gnarly. And then Super Paper Mario, I think anything you can get on Wii with Mario branding on it, it's got to be the right price, obviously, but you know, 10 quid. Bye. Okay, you may have already seen it. I'm just going to whip this out now. This is the Resident Evil 2 board game. Now, this was Kickstarted, and I first became interested in this when somebody I know on Twitter guest blogged for me. And I read his post on my website. I will link it in the description. If you want a review of this, a really good review of this, go and read it on my website. It will be linked in the description. You just might have to kind of scroll down a little bit. But I knew kind of reading that, I was totally sold on it. It's well down my street. There's also expansion packs for this. Now, Debbie, my lovely, if you're watching, I know that you just bought one of the expansions. Elric ordered it in for you. He doesn't stock this as standard. He ordered this in especially for me. And Jess has kindly said she will play it with me. So I will let you know what my thoughts are on this. I'm really, really stoked with that. It's flipping heavy as well. Okay, we're going to continue. I'm not going to show you the inserts that I got because I just, you know. Now, these are really special to me. He gave me these. Elric gave me these. Bless him. Check this random, inanimate rarity and oddity. These are PlayStation disc wipes. They are sealed inside. I'm going to keep them sealed. A, like Elric said, they'll probably be dried up anyway. And B, I'll show you. I just think they look cool. I just think they look really, really cool. So I've never actually seen them around before. And then he kind of chucks these in. Now, if you remember these demo discs, there's two different ones in here. Same artwork. So we've got like back and front. Now, me and my brother had one of these. This is like, one of them's volume 1, one of them's volume 2. So he showed me these and I was like, wow, thank you so much. I haven't seen them for years. For years. And I just burst with pride when things like this happen because, well, it's just a piece of history for me. And, you know, things like this, I didn't even know these existed. I mean, these days you just have a little bit of maybe alcohol rub or something, or just use a microfiber cloth, but PlayStation actually had disc wipes. You learn something new every day. All right then, this bad boy, we have a brand new Super Nintendo game. This is Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage in a little Sentinel case. So we all know Bugs Bunny. I grew up on Bugs Bunny. What's that, dog? And you know, I just think that this is cool. And the Super Nintendo is my baby, hence me making a purchase on this. I'll show you guys the back as well. Looks pretty neat, looks pretty nice. And then finally, another kind of oddity for me, an NES game. Got Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, and I typically don't buy NES games. Like, I'm not fanatical about the NES. I don't think the bulk of the games have aged very well, but I have played this and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I don't own it, so I just thought I'll treat myself. It's like 5 quid. So yeah, we've actually done all right there. And then randomly some PlayStation decals, because you guys don't know this, but there's a shelf behind you, which you know, but on the side I've just got this like massive sticker wall. So that bad boy is going on there. So and shout out again to Elric. He gave me a ton of Nintendo 64 magazines, which I'm going to be siphoning through. They're actually still in my car because I want to put all this away before I bring them in. So that was another thing, a really cool thing that I picked up in the retro game haul that hunt that you've seen earlier today. So thank you for watching. Don't forget the giveaway. You know what to do. Share this video as many times as you can, or any of the videos that you like on this channel. Make sure you use the hashtag Team24. If you don't use it, I'm not going to know you've shared the video and I can't count your share. So share, 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 and I will pick a winner in 7 days with the most shares for the Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 on the PS1. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. See you soon.